Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the BX Sports Jedi Network Bronze Bomber Strike Back podcast with Chris the Flash for Flash Sports. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, Kev. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, man. So, what do you want to talk about? In the words of Cody Rhodes, let's go right to it. A New York Yankee dream for a player has come true, and his name is Marcus Stroman. We all know from childhood, a local product from Long Island, gets to sign with the New York Yankees, and it might not be to the pleasure of the fan base, but we'll talk about the fan base in a minute. Marcus Stroman, the New York Yankees. First we see CM Punk returns to the WWE. Has hell frozen over?
It sure seemed like it because, yeah, like nobody expected it. I mean, all reports were saying Snell got a contract, and then boom, Stroman.
Indeed, and it's a good deal for the New York Yankees. They're averaging about $18 million for a starting pitcher, under 400, under 4 ERA, sinker ball. He's going to be an innings eater. He has also a 30-year option. If he goes over 130 innings, it'll kick in 2 years. Not a bad starting pitcher. I understand it's not the sexy names like the Corbin Burns, Dylan Cease, even Blake Snell coming off a Cy Young award, but you need these kind of pitchers in your rotation to eat up innings and save those arms. I understand as we'll talk about all the positive here first. The sinker ball. You want to keep the ball down. You have to have a good defense up the middle defensively. Volpe just won a Gold Glove. Your center fielder is either going to be Judge, Dominguez when he returns. The second base, if it's Glaber, if he stays on with the team long term, Peraza. Your thoughts on Marcus Stroman? Do you like it? You don't have to agree or disagree. We could agree to disagree. Your thoughts on
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman with the New York Yankees?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. There's like a couple ways you can look at this. At first, I didn't like the Stroman signing because I feel like Yankees are gonna use that excuse. Oh, we can't sign this player. We can't sign this player. We over a luxury. Blah 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 blah. Excuse after excuse after excuse. But then when it came out that he's only making 18.5 compared to what we thought he was gonna get because he opted out of a $21 million deal with the Cubs, I'm like, okay, he took a lesser deal to come to the Yankees. I don't poo poo the move, but we have to do something else. We can't just sign Stroman. That's not the big move. It has to be Stroman and somebody else. The question is who?
All right, I know that, and this is the one thing, and it's not with you. My irony, or my displeasure when it comes to the Yankee fan base. Of course, can we crawl before we run?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that? Let's build. Listen, I'm in construction. We have to build a foundation. Then you build the remainder of the walls. Then into the ceiling. There's a process of building a home. Can we wait until for this organization to build it? See, and then when opening day comes, now if they build us a half-ass house with no roof, then you know what, we could yell and go bananas and ballistic. Let's see here. We got Soto. What's next? 1 second. We going after Yamamoto. It didn't go through. We went to Snell. Snell, right now they're not agreeing with money. Reported is that Snell's looking for a 7-year deal, around 35 per year AVA. So looking over $200 million. You got Stroman, who, like you said, opted out of $21 million, wants to come back to the Yankees. Um, got it for 18.5 with a 30-year option if he hits these goals. Good job. Phenomenal job there. There's still money here to be made. There's still money to be spent for the Yankees. This is not a finished product. The Yankees met up in Tampa with their front office, Cashman, Steinbrenner, everyone in the office, to find out what is their expectation and game plan for this upcoming 24th season. If there is there a threshold, did Howe say, you know what, let's make more money because right now the Dodgers are looking like they're making us look inferior. and there is a Steinbrenner is gonna has his dad a little bit in him. How his dad wasn't going to be outbid or outsold. He's going to, you know what? Let's spend some money. Let's get, you know what? If this is going to get us a better product on the field, where people are going to subscribe to the Yes Network or the app, spend money at the stadium, merchandising. Why not? Business aspect. They must have crunched their numbers. They came up with a game plan. We saw right now for them to be aggressive and say they were going after Snell and then sign Stroman, and they're still saying that there's still being reports that it's still being aggressive for a starting pitcher and adding, even just starting pitcher, adding to the roster, it gives you a positivity there. Now let's talk about the fan base that doesn't seem to embrace Marcus Stroman. We're seeing people that the Yankees seem desperate. Be honest, did it smell desperate from the Yankees to sign Stroman?
To be honest with you, if you want to look at it that way, I feel like both of them wanted to be desperate. I think Stroman wanted to be a Yankee, and it seemed like the Yankees wanted Stroman. So, I mean, I feel like it was bound to happen. I mean, when Cashman, said what he said, to be honest with you, if you look at what Cashman said on face value, our defense wasn't that good for Stroman because Stroman's a ground ball pitcher. So you got to look at it. Our defense is a lot better now. So when we signed Stroman, now I don't look as oh man, they hit the crap out of Stroman. I mean, now you got a Gold Glove shortstop. We don't know who's at second yet or a third. They said DJ, but then we don't know because they still got to make moves.
Not only that, behind the plate, Aiden. Salute, Aiden.
What's up, Aiden?
Good to see you. Good to see you, pal. And of course, you totally abandoned the channel, but that's okay, Aiden. We love you, pal.
Yeah, then we still got Rizzo, a good defensive first baseman. So it's like
don't forget Trevino behind the plate.
Yeah,
also neutralizes the defense.
So this team is a lot better than 3 years ago where Cashman said, "Oh, he can't help us," because that's what people keep bringing up, right. And you can't blame Stroman for feeling the way he felt because it's like, wow, a GM was really going to tell me I'm not meant to be on the team. So of course Stroman got in his feelings and said some stuff, but who doesn't get mad and say some crazy stuff? But then it takes years and maturity, and then he humbled himself.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You said maturity because 3 years ago, if I ask you certain things you would not be doing 3 years ago that you do today. Same thing here. Mm-hmm. We all seem to mature and grow. I understand where the Yankee fan base seems to not want embrace Stroman. Yes, blocking people on Twitter, on social media could be a rub a wrong way, but I have not heard anyone say that he's been a negative teammate. Teammates love to play with Marcus Stroman. What happened with New York with the Mets? Remember, that wasn't his first choice. He was adamant of not playing or didn't want to play. He wanted the Yankees to go get him. Now, his immaturity got the best of him because, and he has to see, this is a business aspect. How are you going to let your competitor in the same division trade you over there where you could go back and just kick them in their teeth over and over? You're going to send them to the other opposing team that you're not going to see, in the Mets. You're going to see maybe now once a year because they do the interleague now where they're going to do competitive balance to try to play each at least twice a series like the NBA. But before it was just every 4 years. You weren't going to see Stroman as much or get that many starts. I get it. He has to see that also. That's immaturity. See that this is a business. You didn't want to, and he did pitch okay for the Mets. He also got in his feelings with the Mets because the Mets didn't want to return him back. They didn't want to give him an offer to bring him back, and he pitched well. He wasn't going to win a Cy Young award. He was serviceable. He is an innings eater, a pitcher who's going to give you innings, who's going to give you a quality start, and is going to put his team in a position to win. Now the Mets, he didn't understand. The Mets were in between ownerships. They didn't know who they're going to sell the team when he was on there. And Cohen might have just got there, and he wanted to go big fish hunting. And Stroman didn't fit that timeline for the Mets. He got in his feelings, said negative things about the way the organization ran. He never said anything about the players, his teammates. It was the organization. Now, if you're right now, if you're someone tells you that you're that you don't fit my club, you're probably going to be a bullpen piece in the postseason. You're not a difference maker. It kind of bothers you because you're out there busting your butt. Going out there and working as a professional. And I understand him in a way. I understand where he's coming from. And I understand he has to grow up a lot from blocking people on Twitter. Maybe he just wants to disconnect from all the noise. Then don't have the social media account. That's all. If you don't want that, because you're gonna get the criticism, even if you do fine. Let's say you pitch 6 innings, gave up 2-3 runs, but then you lose 4-3. People are gonna get mad. Stroman never wins because there's always going to be someone complaining about his pitching performance. He has to block that out. The kid is from Long Island. He's a local product who wants to play for his local team. They show him when he was a kid wearing the Yankee getup. I get that because I could identify myself when I played baseball. Always until I couldn't play no more, and I realized I'm not going to make it to the professional level. And I've always wanted a dream putting on pinstripes, play for the Yankees no matter what. We all have that, either for whatever team you are, Mets, Yankees, Cubs, wherever you are, wherever's your hometown and the team that you love. We all dream as a child and want to play for them. He's actually living this dream. I applaud it. I commend him. I'm happy that he's going to be a Yankee. He wants to come home and pitch. He's going to be motivated. I think he's going to be really good for the Yankees. Now, is he going to win a Cy Young Award? I'm not going to limit it. I'm not going to, I don't expect it. But man, he's going to pitch. He's going to give his heart out there.
Well, speaking of that, and people this day and age got a short-term memory. He was he was winning the Cy Young race until he got hurt. And people forget that he came back too early and kept pitching. And that's why his ERA blew up and stuff like that. So mind you, he can be a Cy Young Award winner. He just got to stay healthy. That's always the case when it comes to pitching.
Always. And good point.
We was about to trade for him. Exactly. Yeah, we was about to trade for him in the trading line until he got hurt.
He was a pitcher that would have fit this team what they needed last year, an innings eater, along with Bellinger, and that would have been a perfect trade partner. The Cubs decided to pull back and say they were going to go. They got close to it and they pulled back. I got it. I get it. I understand that. That's fine. I think he's going to work out. I don't think he's going to be an issue. I think he's going to be a constant professional. I think this, how you change the fan base from dislike to like. Just go out there and win. Do your job, win, and you're going to be fine. I think Stroman is going to be fine. I think going forward. Now, a lot of reports. We're going to move on here. As you see scrolling down, the Yankees did a phenomenal job. Normally, we've seen years prior, even when Judge was about to be a free agent, they could never come to an agreement in that arbitration. That bugaboo word, arbitration, with the New York Yankees. It seemed like that was for the Yankees to ridicule some of their own players for not justifying coming to an agreement or paying them to at the arbitration numbers that the players want. And there was always back and forth and always left a negative distaste, especially with the Judge. We've seen in the Yankees, quickly sign all their guys. I'm very shocked. Let me throw some names out there, starting with Juan Soto, $31 million in arbitration, 14.2 for Torres, Verdugo, 8.7, Holmes, $6 million, Grisham, 5.5, Cortez, 3.95, Trevino, 2.73, Loaisiga, 2.5, Schmidt, 2 million, Gonzalez got signed. My point of this is they did it quickly. No back and forth, no discontent, especially Juan Soto got the number he wanted. Yankees agreed. That's a good sign going forward because we have to negotiate with Boris and Soto in the future if we want to continue to bring Soto back for the Yankees, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cashman learned from the Judge situation. Um, how to probably a little bit like you can't fight over a million or two if you really want the player to stay. I think in the back of their mind, like Jeter and stuff like that, because of the situation with Jeter, I think they always knew Judge and Jeter was gonna stay. We don't know if Soto was gonna stay, so you got to play nice with Soto. What's up, Hill?
Heel. We send you a link, Heel.
Yeah, if you want to join, Hill, come join, bro.
Hey, let's get my guy Jason.
Oh,
Yes, indeed. Let me bring him in here as we're gonna get him in. Hold on, let me get you on for a moment. And where are you guys? There we go. From my New York baseball podcast, joining us here. Always a pleasure.
What's
What's
up,
going on?
fellas?
what's
What's
up,
up, Kev? What's
Jason?
up, Chris?
Good afternoon, friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a great day to be a Yankee fan, I guess, right?
It's a good day. It's always a good day whenever you could put on these interlocking NY cap, and even if they don't do nothing, they just make you proud because of the 27 times that they raised that trophy and the more to come. It just always makes me proud. So, what's your thoughts on the Marcus Stroman? You like it? I mean, is the guy's dream come true?
Honestly, I like before the signing, I was like, hell no. I was like, no, that's the last thing we need. But when you really think about it, now that everything's kind of settled down, and you look at the deal that we signed him for, honestly, it's a steal, man. I think if you cash when you have to take that deal, you have to, and I mean, I tell you what, man, the guy has a lot of heart. He got a lot of heart to come back into the Lions den after all that happened between him and the Yankee fan base, him and Cashman, to come back and actually want to pitch here. I mean, that says a lot about him. And it seems like he's got his head back on his shoulders. So I'm excited. But like you guys said, I still think the Yankees need to make another move. Like, they can't be done. This can't be it. I don't think this is going to cut it. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
We're going to break into that.
Mm-hmm.
The next, what possibly is next here. My thought with Stroman, he's maturing. When 3 years ago, from 2028 or 2018 or 2017, whenever that happened, to now, a lot of things have happened. I think the maturity factor, like you said, he's a New Yorker. He understands the Yankee. He's a Yankee fan growing up. He knows that. He knows, where if he really followed the Yankees like he said he did, he's gonna know how the Yankee fan base went after even Dave Winfield. Winfield, beloved, one. He was all-star. And the people and fan base were upset that he wasn't hitting. He was called Mr. May. He gets it, and I think Stroman is going to be fine. Also, the numbers that he gives you, Let me ask you this, Jason. Before he signed with the Yankees, what was the reason that turned you off with Stroman? Was him the attacks on the organization, or his performance against the Yankees?
Now, the performance against the Yankees, it's a whole different ballgame when you're actually wearing the pinstripes, in my opinion. And you hear a lot of players say that too. It's different when when you're part of the Yankee clubhouse than when you're against them. So I don't think that's not what really turned me off. What turned me off is just, honestly, the Yankees, we have a tradition, and I'm not saying everybody has to be clean cut and this ain't the Army, but we have a tradition, and it's a guy like. The way he was acting, he said some anti-Semitic stuff before, and this is certain things that it just, you don't want those distractions in a clubhouse, especially with all the distractions we already have going on. You see, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. You saw what happened last year with Domingo Germán. You think that was the only incident? I don't believe that's the only. I believe there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. I mean, these guys are people at the end of the day. You get a whole group of people, millionaires at that, huge egos, and you put them together. And people clash, personalities clash. It's like any other job, not everybody's going to get along. And he's very outspoken. But you know what? I think he looks like he's got it all together now. I'm pretty sure they had a conversation about this before they even signed him. I'm pretty sure that they spoke to him and said, look, if we sign you, then, all this stuff, you can't do this no more. There's not how the Yankees do it. They like to keep things in the house. Even if there's drama going on, we don't hear about it as fans most of the time. So all that Twitter and all that stuff, it's got to stop. And I'm pretty sure Judge spoke to him. And so honestly, I'm excited, but We need someone else too. He can't be the only guy. He's not a difference maker, in my opinion. He's a good pitcher.
And
Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
I was about to say, and I want to say this too. Like basically what we're saying is we don't want the attitude on social media. We want that attitude on the field.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like that shuffle that he did with Soto. I love that.
Right.
You struck him out. You know, you did his move against him. I love that type of attitude. And I wanted to say this too, before you got on, Jason. There's 2 points you got to look at this. The last person that said he was a Yankee fan to put on the pinstripes, how did he do it with us? And his name is Garrett Cole. And I'm not trying to compare them two, but I'm just saying when a person really wants to be a Yankee, they 9 out of 10 times they usually perform. And then you also got to realize too that Stroman actually idolized CC, because you remember the tribute video with the ace and everything, the black ace. Stroman was in that video. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like and look, I'm gonna give Kev his flowers. He said it before anybody. He said, "Don't be surprised if Stroman end up with the Yankees."
Told you that because it fits, man. He's a local kid. Growing up, I said it a few minutes ago. You want to play for your hometown team, and you felt disappointed because they didn't want to sign you. You feel snubbed. Like, really, you don't want me? You know, it's like, I could relate a little bit to that. Where in other and then now with baseball and other aspects, and I'm not going to get into details right now with that. But with the Yankees now agreeing with all the free agents here, with not the free agents, arbitration, they made it smooth. Transition, no back and forth, nickel and diming. Everyone got paid. Everyone got their raises here into 2024. They're now projected to be at $304 million right now, and the luxury tax at $48 and $358,000. That's a lot of freaking money. Now, I know you want to say what's next here. I don't know what's the next threshold, if it's 55 million, if they were to add on another X amount of million per year. It kind of tells me, I don't know if they're going to sign a free agent pitcher, or do you think they're going in that trade market before, because right now, let me put this even quicker, better. If you're the Central Division White Sox, and you're seeing already the Guardians saying they're not going to trade Beaver, Cease, and it sucks because both National and American League Centrals, those divisions are weak. Why give up quality pitchers when you have an ace there that you could probably win the division and get that playoff money? I mean, you think Burns and Cease are going to be moved? I could see them trade deadline if the teams tank or they go and they start off terrible, but I don't see it before opening day, guys.
Yeah, I'm with Corbin Burns. They're gonna move him eventually. Probably, like you said, probably not before opening day, but he's gonna get moved. He is not re-signing with the Brewers.
Right.
He already went to arbitration through the whole trial with them, and they pretty much disrespected him. So I highly doubt, unless they give him a ton of money, which they're not. They're actually trying to cut payroll. So they gotta trade him eventually. So that might be something we look forward to later if we in a position where it's like, hey, somebody goes down and we're like, we need a guy, then he might be a guy that we can get. But with Dylan Cease, I think the White Sox, they just want a lot, and a lot of teams are not willing to bite.
That is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with the whole Beaver thing, I mean, I could understand that the Corbin Burns and Beaver that you might want to trade them during the deadline, but I'm telling you right now, if y'all asking for the moon for Cease, and say if Cease has a bad first half, his trade value keep going down. Now I can see them trading him, because I think the worry is if he goes to another team and the team didn't give up what they wanted and he pitches good, that's what they're gonna be mad about. But it's like, maybe a change of scenery for Cease, because Cease did have a good year, last year or 2 years ago? So maybe a change of scenery, it might do him some good. So I think that's what the White Sox is hoping, but you're not going to get what you want. You're not getting Spencer Jones. You're not getting Dominguez. You're not getting our pitchers. Like, I'm not saying Cease's not a good pitcher, but he's not like a Corbin Burns type pitcher, or even a Shane Bieber type pitcher.
Oh, I think he's better than Shane Bieber, to be honest.
I don't know.
At this point,
Oh, at this
probably.
age, yeah.
At this
But
point, yes.
all time, no, because Shane won a Cy Young. I don't see Cease win a Cy Young.
Yeah, but he won it
On a
during the
decline,
COVID
though.
year.
I still count that.
COVID year,
I don't
man.
care. I don't care what nobody said. I still count COVID. We played too.
You're right.
But prior to the COVID, he was having that same type of stuff, though.
Yeah, he's
just
good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think I think the Indians. I think the Guardians. Excuse me.
Yeah.
it's man. Anyway, I think they're gonna. I mean the AL Central is an easy division. I think they're gonna see where they at. If they can make the playoffs, they're not trading him. You know. But if they come the trade deadline or the middle of the season, if they're not even in it, then he's gone, man. They're gonna trade him. So unless somebody gives him a better deal.
Because the Guardians got a new hit manager, so they want to give him something to show, give him an ace or good pitching with Beaver to see what he could do, if he could make something work out of that in a weak division and get them going. And because you want the first thing if you're the Guardians, you want your manager to get off on a good foot. No, and if you start taking away pitching and gutting his roster, he's not going to last long. And maybe there's him taking that over Francona. I need some players. You got to leave me some players. Maybe they have that agreement when he signed. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll do that. For the White Sox, I don't know what the hell they're doing there. They seem like a puzzling. So I don't know if they will give you that. Hold on. And I think that's going to be trading deadline stuff. Hi, Heel.
Hey.
What's up, Hill?
Yes, Burton is better than Shane Bieber. Burns would have done what Shane Bieber did that year, actually, and arguably a lot more better. The AL Central is so weak. People forget that. And that was during a COVID year where basically you face nothing but your division.
Thank you, Austin.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jigga Man?
What's up, Jigga Man?
Dropping by and liking.
Jigga
Appreciate
Man.
you, man. Thank you so much, Stranger. Good job there, man. What's up with our Jets, man? We got to talk some Jets, Jigga Man.
It's over for the Jets, man.
But we got to rebuild this team, man.
I know.
So we saw they have $304 million payroll. Now, reports from Heyman, they made an offer for Blake Snell. What do you think? I think that's on the table, man. I do not put it past the Yankees because I don't think Montgomery's coming to the Yankees. He wants to go to Texas. Also, the state income tax, he's going to make more money. And let me ask, and I know I should ask this question before. If putting the careers together, Jordan Montgomery or who we just signed, Marcus Stroman, better pitcher? I go to you, Jason, then I go to Heel, then I go to Chris, because I know what you're going to go with, Chris, because I want to leave you that as a main event.
Monty all the way, in my opinion. Monty's a beast. We saw what he can do when in the big time, in the World Series, man. And it's funny because when the Yankees traded him away, it was like we didn't think that he could be effective against the Astros. And it turns out that he's the most effective against the Astros. So.
This gentleman did right here. This gentleman right here who went on a tirade like a little child when they got that hack, Vader. Heel, your thought?
If you saw my report, from what I can't remember who reported it, and I can't get my phone right now because it has to say
Nightingale.
Yeah, Nightingale said that the Yankees basically made offers to Snell, and Snell didn't like the offer. So that's what led up to the Stroman deal, is that they backed out on it. So then they started to pursue Stroman. So I'm going to say that, I don't see the Yankees signing Blake Snell to this point, because I think Stroman was their backup plan if they didn't get Snell. I think it was kind of like an emergency backup plan.
Not that's one reporter, not what other reporter says. They said the Yankees are still they're not
Joe
stopping
Sherman.
at there. Yeah, Sherman. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, Joe Sherman after the Stroman signing said they're still not out on Snell because there's only two markets for Snell, it's us and the Giants, and they even said if Snell brings his asking price down, which he could, because ain't nobody giving Snell 7 years, So I think him and the Yankees, I think they're gonna meet in the middle. So I still think it is a possibility that Snell does come to us because he said it out his mouth. He wants to be a Yankee too. So it ain't just like a one-way street. Oh, it's the Yankees just want him. I think they just need to talk it out because that is a negotiation stage. Is I'm gonna offer you a contract. You give me your best offer. I'll give you mine, and we meet in the middle. So I still think they still in play with for Snell. I'm not saying they're gonna get Snell, but it is a possibility. And if I had to choose between Stroman and Montgomery, I'm agreeing with Jason. I'm gonna choose Montgomery because, especially last year, I mean, the man, all the pitchers got hurt. All the good pitchers for the Texans got hurt. It was him and Nathan Eovaldi, another former Yankee. So it just, don't get me wrong, I like the Stroman signing, but if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Monty.
I got you. I like the left-hander. I'm a big guy. I'm a big time for left-handed pitching in Yankee Stadium to neutralize the short porch. That's why I was very irate when they traded Montgomery away for an injured Bader. I know he was great in the postseason and all that, but he couldn't stay healthy last year. Even though when he was healthy, he was impactful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn a blind eye, but I thought Montgomery, what he brings, was a very important piece for the New York Yankees. And like you said, Snell, Giants or the Yankees. Speaking of those Giants, the reports are they signed Jordan Hicks, 4 years, $44 million.
No.
$11 million a year, Jason. That's too much money,
I'm
Jason.
happy. That's too much money for
too
Jordan.
much money. $11 million a year for Jordan. That's a lot.
Yeah,
of money.
I'm not doing that.
Don't
I'm not touching that.
Man.
Yeah. He signed with the Giants.
He would have been a nice electric arm, but for $11 million, Jason.
Yeah, I might.
Did that just happen right now?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty reasonable, if I'm being honest. I mean,
because
like you guys got to imagine too, like even if you think it's too much, the prices for these players, especially after the Shohei contract, it's going to be rising. Like a lot of that's why I think at one point I even told Kev and others too. I'm like, whatever Shohei just got, a lot of players that are about to hit free agency, including Juan Soto and others, they're gonna see that and they're gonna be like, "Wow, okay, so if I can, what I thought I could make, I should probably test free agency this upcoming season because now Juan Soto coming into this season probably was worth 300 to 350 mil. Now he's definitely going to be in the 400 mil range because now his agent's going to be like, hey, we're talking about the Ted Williams of the modern age. He better get 400 to 450 mil.
Well, me and Kev.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. I was about to say,
me and you are ready to go for it.
we talked about this already. I want people to understand this. Shohei didn't get $700 million, so Soto is not getting $700 million. That's deferred money. People got to understand that. He actually only got paid $498 million.
460.
Yeah. So even I mean, I don't know if I can do this, but can I shout out somebody's channel? So Mikey Mizer and NFE Strike Zone, they did a interview with Scott Bryan. Even Scott Bryan said the same thing. Don't look for Soto getting $700 million or this and that. That's not going to happen. Now he might get up to, like Kev said, before we got on stream, like 550. I can see that. That's more reasonable. But don't. Oh, he gonna get 700. No, that's not happening.
Yeah, no, but his price did go up.
I mean, let's say the Dodgers offer him $800 million for layaway for the next 40 years. I mean, and the first for the next 40 years, maybe that's where they'll go. I mean, you never know.
I tell you know why I would have gave Jordan Hicks the $11 million. If Severino's getting $13 million, you got freaking Montas who pitched one inning last year.
17 million. The Yankees paid him $17 million. That's why the Stroman deal made sense. But here's what's the closer for the Brewers? Devin Williams.
Yeah, Devin Williams.
He only got $7.5 million. That's it.
Oh yeah, but
in arbitration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah, that's a bargain.
He's
Exactly.
better than Jordan Hicks too.
Oh yeah.
And Hicks is not a definite closer neither. He lost his job in St. Louis,
Yeah, but when he went to Toronto, he got a lot better. I'm a fan of
but
Hicks.
he wasn't a closer in Toronto.
Yeah,
He wasn't a closer in
You're right.
Toronto.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a closer.
Established closer.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I like Hicks, and some people do want him as a closer. But I'm sorry, you lost your closer spot in St. Louis to the dude that we traded St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Gallegos.
Giovanni Gallegos.
Yeah, he became the closer for St. Louis.
Well,
Jordan
I'll say
Hicks
this.
Lost his spot to him.
I'll say this. I'm just glad he didn't go to the Astros. You hear that?
Yeah.
Because they were interested too. So he's in the National League. We don't have to worry about that guy. I mean, but who else is out there? We still need the bullpen is not 100% either, in my opinion. You know, there's we got a lot of question marks, man. I'm excited. Like, yeah, we got Soto, we got Marcus Stroman. We are better than we were last year, but we still got a lot of holes, and I don't know how we fill them, to be honest.
There's also been a report the Marlins now shopping Luis Arraez. Luis Arraez's name has been put out there. You could go to Miami. We've seen a lot of names there. Losado, you know, along with Arraez. Now you really can make a big blockbuster move between the Yankees and the Marlins. You know, any intrigue, any peak, any interest on wanting to trade with the Marlins, Chris, for Luis Arraez, and depending on, or is it something that is like far-fetched?
Nah, I mean it's not far-fetched. I mean, it's a possibility. We have stuff that they want, and they have stuff that we want. So I mean, why couldn't we, you know, trade for them? I mean, they need catching. We have catching depth to trade for them. They need infielders. We have infielders. They need bullpen help. We can give them bullpen help.
Yeah. Honestly, Luis Arraez, man, that's who we should have got from the Twins to begin with.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I don't know, but that's a whole nother topic. Sometimes it drives me crazy sometimes when I think about things, and I'm like, but to get a guy like that, you're going to give up the farm. Spencer Jones, Dominguez, all them guys, they have to be included to get at him. They're not just going to settle for they're going to want at least 3 top 10s.
I did see a nice package out there. I'll try to find it while you speak there.
Yeah, he's gonna cost, but I think he's worth it, man. He's probably the best hitter we've seen in a long time in the major leagues. As far as like a contact hitter, hits for average, the guy's phenomenal. He's batting in what, like the 340s, 350s. At one point, he was almost at 400. Well into the season. Yeah, you don't see that anymore. That is like not heard of in today's age, the way they play baseball now. So I'm all for
it. But supposedly in this modern day analytics, he doesn't translate, yada yada. You know, the hits, the high batting average, which to me, I'm like,
yes.
You know what? Modern day analytics said that what's this guy? I can't even remember his name. That the guy that we traded from, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. But modern day analytics said a lot of guys are going to be good, and we get them, and they don't. It doesn't translate, man.
Yeah, you talking about Gallo?
Yeah, Joey Gallo. There we go.
God, God,
you're in my mind, Chris. I swear, I was like,
God.
I forgot him already. I got PTSD from Joey Gallo.
God, that was bad.
Speaking of modern day analytics, I wanted to tell you guys this. So here's something I want you guys to take into consideration with the Marcus Stroman, and I don't think I heard anyone talk about this. So ERA plus also measures how good a pitcher is in different ballparks, and I want you guys to really consider this. And this is one thing that's kind of concerning. But not too concerning because it is above average. So Marcus Stroman last season actually had an ERA plus 113. If I'm not mistaken, I'll even check again. 113, which is actually good, but that was in a division with bigger ballparks. So now that he's coming to a division, minus the Orioles, that has like smallest, smaller ballparks, does it concern you that he might have a Carlos Rodon effect?
It wasn't a Rodon. Rodon was help. It wasn't ability.
Well, Rodon did good. I mean, like when he was with the Giants. So coming in with the Yankees, I mean, let's be honest, it did affect him pitching at Yankee Stadium. Like Yankee Stadium is a double-edged sword. Yes, it can help your offense, but it can also not help your pitching.
I mean, he's a
Yeah.
ground ball pitcher, so just keep the ball on the ground,
That's it.
and I think you'll be all right. At that point, the size of the field doesn't really matter, you know.
It,
Here, don't ruin this for me, man. I'm happy.
He's not gonna throw no wet blanket.
I'm
on this.
looking it up. I'm like, what's going on?
No, don't throw a wet blanket on because he's been under 3. He's gonna give you over 130 innings plus. Where you got Clark Schmidt coming off a year with the most innings he's pitched in his career, over N.Cortes, who had arm fatigue last year, and he's gonna bounce back. My point is, you got 2 guys that you don't know, and you don't know what Carlos Rodon's health is going to be, if he's going to stay healthy. But you know you have Cole off a Cy Young Award, who made all his 30-plus starts. You don't know what effects, but if you got Stroman, who showed you time after time, year after year, he could get the ball every 5 days, and throw over 130 innings. That's going to help you. That's going to help the team. It's going to alleviate the load off of the whole starting 5. So I like that there. Let me bring my son Austin for a moment. Let's see. Nope. He'll come back in. So what you're, so I kind of like Stroman's move there. I did wanted to bring up that back to the Luis Arraez deal. Unless if you guys got another point, I have. Would you accept this move, this trade? If you go for Losado, Arraez, Yankees send Torres, Schmidt, Peraza, and Everson Pereira. What are your thoughts?
Oh, 100%. You have to. You have to do that.
Yeah, because you're sending them a good outfielder, and also that. Look at the names, the 3 names that are marketable for the Miami. I'm a big person. I'm a big person that you try to get players to market around your stadium. When I mean stadium, there's a lot of Venezuelans, Latinos in Miami. You're bringing a Gleyber Torres, who's Venezuelan, Peraza, and Pereira. You can market to your stadium, to your fan base, and you can have them. And now you got people to come to the ballpark.
Well, I don't think the Marlins would take that. I don't think they'll take that, to be honest.
I'm 50-50 on it.
And I want to say this too, Kev. And Jason, you should feel the same way. I don't want Luzardo. That's another A's pitcher. I'm sorry. Anytime we trade for an A's pitcher, they do horrible with us. So if we're gonna trade for one of their pitchers, I want Cabrera. Switch Luzardo with Cabrera.
But then you got to throw in a Spencer Jones or Dominguez in there.
No, Cabrera's gonna be less than Luzardo. They want more for Luzardo than Cabrera.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they'll do it because Luis Arraez is worth a lot more.
Yeah. No. Luis gonna give you the better return.
Yeah.
But Luis, I believe, is a free agent at the end of this year. What's up, Austin?
What's up,
Hey,
Austin?
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we get you.
Okay, do you already know Rice? I'm surprised that Rice is even offered, but the Marlins are entertained that considering what he did last year. I mean, great the Yankees could get him, but I mean that package. I think was it you or Jason mentioned the package or the suggestion? I like the idea. I mean, I would definitely, what? I'll definitely do it. But
the Losado, Arraez for Torres, Schmidt, Pereira, and Peraza.
yeah, I mean, if Marlins, I would definitely do it to get Arraez in, a pitcher from Miami for sure, definitely. But I don't know, maybe we are trained for Arraez for Gleyber, and Gleyber's a free agent just like Arraez. Now, the Marlins perspective, I mean, Yankees obviously Arraez is a better player, especially contact wise. I mean, I'll be happy if the Yankees got Arraez.
I said that same thing because I said that to Chris. I said, why would you want to give Gleyber's going to be a free agent too and Arraez both? Kind of like canceling each other out there. But I said, I guess you mentioned that maybe the Yankees pick up that out of that $14 million, half of that, $7 million, which that's what Arraez is getting in arbitration anyway 7 million. So why not keep Arise? That's why when I heard that from the reports, it made me raise my eyebrow. Like, it doesn't kind of make sense unless if Marlins really wanted to get some prospects. But out of all those you're gonna get Clark Schmidt, who could call his starting pitcher, throw him in the bullpen. I mean, I don't see.
How old is Luis?
27, I think.
27.
If he's
right?
27, that's why they're not gonna pay for him. He's gonna get a big contract. Trust me.
Oh,
And you know how cheap the Marlins are.
You know what it is? The Marlins are broke right now too, man. They're doing bad. They can't even. They're averaging about like 9,000-10,000 fans per game. You got AAA ball clubs doing better than that. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure that their budget is not. It's not where it needs to be. So they'll move a lot of guys.
That's what frustrated Derek Jeter out there.
Mhm.
Wanted to put a winner and didn't have the resources to go and get the players.
Yeah, he's 26. He'll turn 27 on April 20.
Pretty much
that's-
almost the same as Gleyber Torres. Gleyber's 25, same age. I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably why they want to trade him. Because like I said, they probably want to get as much as they can for him right now.
But now that I think about it, Kev, if I'm the Yankees, I wouldn't do that deal only for one reason. You don't know. Let's just say you do lose Juan Soto. Then what's your backup plan?
Spencer Jones, and if you keep Arise, you got Arise, Spencer Jones,
Mhm.
Dominguez, Judge, and you still got Verdugo. Everybody.
But you got to think
You
about this
forget.
too. You don't know the ceilings of Pereira or Peraza. You don't know their high ceilings. So
I grant that. I get it. And the same thing with Kareem Frazier, as well as Andujar, as well as Bird, as well. Can the list go on and on again? This is the song that never ends, my friend. I mean,
Too many guys.
and Luis Luis Arias, absolutely. Like, he would be the big W in that trade, obviously. But Luis Arias for Gleyber Torres, obviously that would be a win for the Yankees.
oh yeah,
But at the same time, it's like, do you really have to do it? Not really. It's not like
No.
Gleyber's a bad player. And Luzardo, I mean, for Clark Schmidt, I don't know. It's like I said, it's kind of like one of those. Really.
yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. But we have to talk about it because it's being mentioned. Let's have that.
Yeah.
Let's hear our thoughts from our perspective. Wanted to hear everybody's thoughts and the argument, but we have an argument. So it looks like we're all in favor of not making that deal. Although we would like a rise. I've said it before. I want to see Gleyber Torres play for that bag, trying to get that contract extension. And we'll love if he's gonna have a career year. I want to see what it looks like in a Yankee uniform. But even if he goes, I don't know about you, Jason. Would you like to see that for him to career year with the Yankees? What it is?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, at what price though? That's the whole thing, I mean, I like to see the homegrown talent stay with the Yankees, of course. But sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But I want to correct that. I'm for that trade. I think
I want to switch.
You have to make that trade.
I want to switch the
I am
pitches,
too.
but I'm agreeing with Jason.
I think you
and
have to. Yeah.
and the piggyback what you said, Kev. We saw what Luis did with the Marlins. Now imagine with him on a contract year, what he can do. So I would take the trade. I just want to switch the pitchers because I don't want another A's pitcher coming to us.
All right, I get you. I wouldn't feel one bit against that because we've been burned with the Oakland Athletics pitching staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been really burned badly. I mean, Jesus. I mean, the list is major. Now we'll see what other bullpen arms. The Snell deal. I'm thinking the 5 years at $35 million.
Ooh.
He's just coming off a Cy Young award, and look, listen, he just won the highest honor in Major League Baseball, Cy Young award, and we were willing to give a Japanese player who never throw a pitch that kind of money.
$35 million for 5 years, though. That's way too cheap for Blake Snell.
But he's looking for 7, and I wouldn't give him 7.
No, we offered him 5 to I think 150. He either wants another year or he wants more money. So that's 30 million. If it takes 6 years, I'm doing 6 years for 180.
Wow.
I'm doing it. I'm giving him the 6 year, and you can put an opt out if you want to. I don't care, player, team. It don't matter to me. If it's gonna take the 6 year, give him the 6 year. You did it for Rodon. I'm sorry. I'm not comparing pitches. We paid Cole. He's got an opt in for 10, and he's gonna be old too. So it's like, if we're gonna go all in, we might as well go all in. Put the chips all in. I mean, like Hill said, we don't know if we're gonna re-sign Soto or not. So this would be the year to say, fuck the cap or whatever you want to call it, and just do what you got to do to win the World Series. I mean, I understand, you can't buy a championship, but it does help. I mean, look at what we did in 2009. I'm sorry. If you can say whatever you want, we bought that championship because we got the best players, but it was a chemistry thing too. We bought the right players. And I feel like this team so far, Cashman is bringing the right players in. He's bringing in Soto. He's bringing in Verdugo, which he's pissed because of what the Red Sox did to him. Same thing with Marcus Stroman. I think Marcus Stroman's got a chip on his shoulder. Like, I'm going to prove to everybody that I'm meant to be here.
But I think the way I see it is like, okay, if we do that, that puts us at what, like 340 million, right? Around there?
Yeah.
340 million. So next year, I know we got some money falling off the books next year. We still got to make room for Soto, man. This guy's not going to ask for, he's not deferring $680 million. I'll tell you that much. No. He wants his money now. So, I mean, that's the only reason I want Snell too, but I start thinking, like, is Hal really going to make that? Like, how much money that leaves us left over for Soto? Because we got to put him a real offer. He's going to get.
I knew you was going to bring that up. And this is what I keep trying to tell fans too, because that's the first thing they say. Oh, we ain't going to have enough money for Soto. We got $100 million coming off the books. So what we at now? 304?
Yeah.
304.
Snell will put us at what? See, he gets paid 30. So 334. You take $100 million off, that's still 234. You add Soto's contract, we still in good hands. So it's like, I don't want to hear this, oh, we're not gonna have enough money for Soto. Trust me, we're gonna have enough money for Soto.
But 100, you still got 100 millions falling off, but you still got to fill those spots, with other players.
Well, we got the players. We got the players to fill the spots. Like, say we don't trade Peraza and we let Gleyber go. We still got DJ. DJ can take over first. We still got Cabrera that can play all over the infield. So we have the players. We just got too many of infielders and outfielders. We don't need all that. Yeah. So I mean, even Spencer Jones. Say, okay, because people keep saying this. If we keep Spencer Jones, sign Soto and Dominguez, where's Jones gonna, like, we still got all these moving parts. They might do something with Stanton. Stanton don't perform this year. We don't know what might happen. But to say that, oh, we signed Snell, we're not gonna have the money for Soto, I just think it's BS. And if that's what Cashman and Howell thinking, what was the point of you trading King and them to keep Soto for 1 year? That doesn't make sense too.
No, we know the Yankees got the money. Money is not a problem with the Yankees. Are they willing to spend that money? That's
well, they're gonna have to
live above. They're gonna have to live above the $300 million mark for a while. Are they willing to do that? That's what my own question. I don't care. It's not my money. I say spend $500 million. Who cares?
I'll say this, Jason. It all depends on what they do this year. If it's proven that they can go over 300 and we win, I don't have no hesitation that they're going to sign Soto and us going over 300 again.
Yeah.
That's the case. The players have to perform. And boom, I'm sorry, the buffoon or whatever you want to call him,
he needs to go. He needs to go.
If he doesn't perform, like he'll say, he needs to go. You have the talent now. So there's no excuse.
No, Cashman did a great job. I'm sorry. Cashman does not deserve any hate this year. He went out. He not only got the player the fans wanted and Juan Soto, but he kept adding on this year. He got Stroman. He got Verdugo. He got Soto. He got a few arms for Aaron Boone too that are going to be in spring training, trying to get a spot in that bullpen. Like I'm sorry, but the Cashman hate needs to be put on the side right now. Like if
Oh, no,
anything, he
I'm
deserves.
still hating Cashman a little bit because I don't think
I am
no, we're not letting them off the hook, bro. No,
Yeah, I agree.
it took for them to fight tooth and nail for us to go
Uh-huh.
have a terrible season.
Fair.
Yankee fans screaming. It took for them to sit down and Aaron Judge to tell them whatever meeting they had that people were
Right.
pissed, and he came outside and started cursing at reporters
Mhm.
at George Sherman. It took for all that for you to realize for you to put your ego aside and freaking just admit that you were wrong. It's okay. Like everybody's wrong sometimes, you know. I was wrong the other day. I said the Yankees will not sign Marcus Stroman. 20 minutes later, they signed him. It's like, what? So
I had the same thing.
Oh, man. That's fair, but all I'm saying is right now let's like chill on Cashman, and right now all the pressure's on Aaron Boone. If he does not like, what would you say is the ceiling right here? At least make it to the ALCS at the very minimum.
Maybe the World Series.
Making the World Series. Okay, if he doesn't make it that far, we'll say the World Series. We'll all agree right here and there. If he doesn't make it at least to the World Series, he needs to be gone.
Yeah, he's got to improve. He's got to improve
Yeah.
from Girardi. Girardi was one game out of the World Series,
Yeah.
and Girardi had a good talent with young players. This time here, you're stacked with a lineup. And you know what? I'm the first one. You know I can't stand Aaron Boone. Everybody knows that I'm the
I
first
can't
one.
either.
But I tell you one thing: he's the right guy here for this type of team to manage these personalities, because Verdugo has a history of being late and supposedly whatever negativity that came out of the Boston media or the Boston clubhouse. Stroman, we heard of with his baggage. One thing I got to give the devil his due: he knows how to manage these personalities. You don't hear the.
I'll be right back, guys.
You don't hear the ira or the negativity from a Boone. He knows how to manage these personalities, the A tapes, and he knows how to navigate. I got to give him that. Baseball decision wise, I'm not a big fan. You know that. But you know what? I like Brad Osmus there because he's a catcher who's going to have his ear. I think he's going to be there for strategy purposes. I think they bought him there, and they should have done that from the very beginning. They hired Boone. They should have bought a bench coach who was baseball strategist, who knew the ins and outs of baseball. And I think Brad Osmus is going to help Boone. And that's why I'm not going in worried about Boone this season. Believe it or not, as much I can't stand
I'm
the guy.
worried. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I'm still worried.
I'm
I'm
not.
so worried. At the end of the day, you know,
What's up,
I'm gonna use something that you would say, Kev. At the end of the day, a rabbit is still gonna eat a carrot, and you know what? He's still gonna be Dave Roberts. I'm sorry. Wow, he's still gonna be Aaron Boone because he really is. He's gonna literally be like, but I have to go do it. I have to go pull them. I'm sorry. It's already the 5th inning. I have to go pull them.
That's why we need
Remember-
another pitcher.
Yeah.
Remember, his name on this channel is Buffoon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to see that on this channel. I really don't.
No, you
But-
have liberty. I'll say it.
But I'm sorry. There's still gonna be those games, and it's it's gonna drive us crazy. But like we said, he has no excuse this year, and that's why I said, and this goes for both, like any team that's trying to go after like a World Series. You have to restart from the ground up, no matter what your mentality is. That's why the Yankees should have got rid of Aaron Boone. Like imagine like Ron Rogerson, like I keep saying with this team, that would have been a refreshing mentality with the Yankees. Like I know, regardless of what your opinion is about Ron Washington or any manager, just going in with a fresh mindset, like completely, would have been fantastic. Instead of worrying about, man, there's that one thing that I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. But January 12th is it's a wrong time of the date to talk about the moves of a manager right now. Now he's here no matter what, unfortunately, and now it's the roster construction part of the aspect of it, because they should have done that in November. You know, if they were going to make a move, that was the move to contemplate there. So really kind of grasping at straws for the manager, but he is on a short leash. That's why Osmus is there. If the Yankees start off a little bit off the gate, stumbling, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a quick cook there on the manager going in there. And they're struggling. They're 5 games under 500. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. And Brian Osmus takes over. That wouldn't surprise me. But we'll see what happens here. Any other names out there that the Yankees could pull here? Montgomery's not coming here. Montgomery isn't coming to New York. It's Snell right now, and I don't know. And you say, and Jason, I'm listening to you and understanding that payroll. If they do get Snell here, I mean, they could go cheaper in the future, especially if they want to bring it. But if they want to bring up players to play like a Peraza at second and like Labor walk, they're gonna save money there. Rizzo comes off the books. You also behind the plate, you have Austin Wells. You could probably, they're gonna have to go younger if they want to, and from the minor leagues if they're going to pay Soto. But one thing I'm going to give an encouraging that I thought encouraged the arbitration meeting. They met at 31 million. There was no haggling. There was no disconnect, or they were saying, "No, we're not going to pay you. We're going to pay you 29." And no, I want 34. They got 31. They agreed. That's a good thing because that means they can negotiate and things are going to move quicker in the off season. I was encouraged with that. What you guys thought on that?
I think I don't think the Yankees had a choice. Honestly, if we really serious about re-signing Soto, we don't want to take him to arbitration. Like we can't, we couldn't do that. And I think when we got Soto before getting him, we already knew we was expecting 33 million. So 31 million. I mean, I was expecting 33 million. 31 million. That's a plus to me. I think he's worth every penny in my opinion. So you got to give it to him.
Absolutely.
And I was telling this to Kev too. If you look at Gleyber was supposed to get more than what he got.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I could see them like Mike was saying, like Snell is a possibility. Don't get me wrong. I mean, since we signed Stroman, I would rather trade for a pitcher. But if Snell still isn't out there, why not go for the juggler?
Austin, your thoughts there, Austin, on the pitching market there. Should they trade or should they go for Snell? I know you're not a big fan of Snell either.
No, I'm not. No, I think he's a little bit overrated, personally. I know he had the Cy Young Award season last year, but everything between the two Cy Young Awards and piss poor, to be honest, with Snell. So that's why I'm not a big fan of them getting Snell. I think they should get in a trade, particularly maybe during the season, maybe when depending like what happens with other teams like Cleveland or Miami or even the White Sox or Milwaukee. Try to get one of those guys, Burns and Cease or Bieber. I'm pro Bieber personally. About everyone, that's just me. I think Bieber perfect for the Yankees. I think Burns might be the better pitcher at the moment. But what I was gonna ask you guys this: what are your thoughts on Josh Hader? Considering the Yankees don't have a closer and he's still a free agent, and I'm surprised no one has signed him yet.
Maybe his asking price.
Yeah, bounced back 2023.
Yeah, but I'm not paying him $20 million.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing from sources, Josh Hader is getting probably somewhere around the neighborhood of $100 million.
Yeah.
When the reliever market. Again, that's just what I'm hearing, and obviously he's worth it because back in Milwaukee, sometimes he would pitch 2 or 3 innings as a closer. And there was a point where I thought Kirk Consul was just gonna like break his arm. So obviously he is worth it. But do you want to like risk it and sign him? Maybe. But yeah, he is a really good reliever. He did show some struggles though in San Diego at one point. I think it's when he first got there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it all depends on how you feel about Hader. Personally, I still will love him in Texas. I hear the Rangers are rumored to be in on him. As for like the Yankee side of things, of course you love him. Personally, I still like Clay Holmes as a closer option. I know you guys aren't comfortable with him, but if you guys want a closer, Josh Hader obviously is perfect.
Okay, Jason, your thoughts there? I didn't hear your thoughts on Hader's.
On Hader, I would love Hader. I mean, but he wants a lot of money, and right now, I don't think the Yankees. If the Yankees did get Hader, then that's it. We're done. Then you could kiss Snell goodbye. That's definitely not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of I'm torn in between. It's a lot of moves that I feel like the Yankees can. I want them all, to be honest. They're not Pokemon. They're not Pokemon, right? We can't have them all. So I'm just, I don't know. Yeah. What do you think, Kev?
Well,
Chris.
Get
No.
Chris, and
I
then
was
I'll
about to
go
say,
after.
yeah, I was about to say I agree with Austin. I mean, I was one of the first ones to be like, let's get Beaver because of the Matt Blake situation. Matt Blake is the one that actually found Beaver and made Beaver to what he was. And the Snell situation, look, I'm gonna take the Cy Youngs out of it. Look what he did in the postseason, especially against the Dodgers. He got pissed because the manager took him out and he was performing. So I don't just look, oh, he won 2 Cy Youngs. I want to see what he could do in the postseason. And he produced in the postseason. Regardless if it was the Kobe year or not, like I said, we all played. So it's still worth it to me to be like, yeah, he could still produce in the playoffs. That's what I want. That's why I don't mind Montgomery. Yeah, Montgomery might be so and so in the regular season, but he proved himself in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think if you're the Yankees and you want Monty back, you just gotta swallow that pill that you were wrong and forget that trade and bring back Monty.
I don't want I don't want Williams.
No, I don't want
want
Monty back
I
either.
don't want Imani
Yeah.
back.
No.
If I want a lefty, if we're gonna go lefty, just go ahead and just
Monty
get
pitched like an ace though in the World Series, and I saw first.
It's not that.
Yeah,
It's not that. Yeah, it's not that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, well, look, when you have a pair of sneakers that you worn already, you're not gonna take them off and discard them and then and then put them on again. Once you take out, you're gonna go for a fresh new pair of sneakers, man. And the Yankees going back to him, I don't think that's gonna work.
Well, what do you not trust? Is it just like with him and Boone or stuff in Yankee Stadium, or
He's gonna, the minute he has a couple bad outings, he's gonna start doubting himself. Like, I can't do it here in New York. I rather.
right.
It's a mental thing. I rather.
it's like me with Aaron Boone.
It's like if I asked the panel here, would you like to get Sonny Gray back to the Yankees?
No.
Exactly. That's the same thing what I feel with Montgomery, despite the fact.
But Monty's a World Series champion. Sonny Gray is not, though.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what Kevin's trying to say. This is what Kevin's trying to say.
I know what
If
he's trying
Monty
to say.
comes back, if Monty comes back and he has a couple bad innings, you know what Cashman's gonna say? I told y'all.
Or the fan base.
It's kind of hard to say I told y'all when Monty's walking around with what.
Yeah, but that's with another team. That's not with us.
I know.
It's still different. It's
and it's, you know what it is too here is that it's a broken relationship already with the organization.
That makes more sense.
Everything. It's like it's almost like being in a relationship and she cheats or something, and then to go back that's tough, man.
I'm clueless.
And a lot of people not willing to do that.
Or money embezzlement, like the money isn't there. The money was mismanaged, miswasted, and then you're back, and you're not gonna trust the person with money no more because they make bad decisions, and then you're not gonna trust Monty to go out there and give you quality pitching because you knew he couldn't manage the money right, and he couldn't pitch well in New York, and that's gonna always be in the back of your mind. That's why if the move that they want to do, if they want to shore up their bullpen. Because we know that the modern baseball, it's only 5 to 6 innings, and you need a super bullpen. Do you rather go that route and get we got a 5 starting pitchers already locked in? Do you go for the jugular bullpen now? And look, I'm gonna put up right now in the graphic the Yankees. Where is it? Their starting rotation. Here's their starting rotation as of right now. It's gonna be Cole. Hopefully Rodon bounces back, gives you 25 starts. Stroman, Cortes, and Clark Schmidt. And you're telling me you bring in a Hader, or I know you would have liked Jordan Hicks. This is where Jordan Hicks would have made sense along with Hader, because now you're making a super bullpen. For now, you could shorten the game. Because especially with that lineup that they're gonna have, they could shorten the game up and go to the bullpen. But your thoughts here, guys? Bullpen, go for the super bullpen, or you want that one more arm?
This might be a hot take. But I would actually put Clark Schmidt over Nestor. I trust Clark Schmidt right now more than I do Nestor Cortes.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a hard take. Because regardless, Clark Schmidt made over 30 starts. Nestor, a little arm fatigue for pitching the most innings he ever pitched. And last year was an effect of that. That's not a hot take. That's facts. You trust, because you saw also Clark Schmidt get better as the year progressed, guys.
Yeah, so I wouldn't put Nestor Cortes. I would go Garrett Cole, then Stroman,
No,
And then
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. These are the 5 that you're going to throw out. It don't matter who's 1, 5, 7, 25. These are your starting pitchers. Would you want to? This is what you're going to have there. Would you want to up? Do you think there's upgrades there? And then, or you might upgrade the bullpen, and you know you're going to get the final outs.
I would sign one more starter and then put Nestor as a long reliever in the bullpen. But like Nestor, in my opinion, has to earn his spot back again in the starting rotation. That's just the way I see it.
I was thinking, why we don't just kill 2 birds with 1 stone? I mean, we keep saying trade with the Marlins. Don't get me wrong, I love Snell, and maybe if we didn't sign Stroman, Snell, and then we probably could have did that. But since we signed Stroman, call the Marlins. Like I said, they have pitching. We have the infield and outfield depth, and let's make a trade. We can get one of their pitchers and one of their relievers, and make a deal with them. Or I seen Mike talking about the Mariners. Same thing. We have what they have, and they have what we need. So it's like why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? We can get a pitcher and a reliever on one of those 2 teams.
Or what about this is what I want to see. Like, what about with the Guardians? If we could get a Shane Bieber, Austin's gonna love
Shane
this.
Bieber Classic.
Shane Bieber and Class A, or with the Brewers, get Corbin Burns and Devin Williams.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and you're done. You're pretty much.
Let me ask you this. Let me, Jason. If we do that deal, are you including Spencer Jones in that deal?
And Chris is gonna hate this, man. I'm honestly, yeah. Why not? It depends which one. Which one though?
No. If you're getting both of those players, both of them are coming back to New York.
I would try everything I can not to include Spencer Jones, but look, I'm not married to any of these prospects, man. These prospects, you know what it is? I'll tell you right now, Chris, that we've seen so many of these guys come up, and we're like so high on these guys, and they don't pan out. So I let that go years ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna really I'm gonna manage my expectations when it comes to these prospects, until they get up here. Like Dominguez, I love because I seen him up here. I seen what he can do. And Spencer Jones, I like him too, but who knows, man? He's playing in AA right now. Like, we don't know what he's gonna. I hope he pans out. I know one thing for sure. He's not gonna be an outfielder. He's gonna have to find another position. With the Yankees, if he stays in this organization, if we sign Soto, where is he gonna be in the outfield? So he has to move to first base. He's too big to play third. He's definitely not playing short or any middle infield. And right now, the kid, I like the kid a lot, but he strikes out a lot. So he's,
Are we talking about Spencer Jones still?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about John
Yeah, no. Because I wonder. I knew, like, I don't know. I got all these rebuttals just in case if somebody say this and this. Mm-hmm. So the Spencer Jones thing. I just brought it up. And people, I think Yankee fans also said this too. If Stanton doesn't have a good year, in my belief, Hal's going to eat that money and let Stanton go. And if Stanton leaves, that means Stroman's going to be the new DH. But you can flip him. You can rotate him now because Soto's a lot younger. So you got Soto, Spencer Jones, Dominguez, and Judge, and you can keep flipping them, and they don't always have to be on their legs in the outfield. So there is a possibility. And I'm not saying I wouldn't trade Spencer Jones. It's just for a 1-year Corbin Burns, and we know he might not sign back with us. I don't want to trade Spencer Jones for that. Now, don't get me wrong. If the right deal, like say the Marlins, if the Marlins want to trade us Perez, like I told Kev, like Perez reminds me of Pedro. If they want to trade Perez and a bullpen piece and a pitcher, you can have Spencer Jones. You can take Spencer. I don't care, because now we got 2 young pitchers and a young bullpen piece. I'll do that, but I just don't want to trade Spencer for a 1-year Burns and he leaves us and then we don't have Spencer Jones no more.
But you're getting Devin Williams with them. I'm talking about a 2-for-1 trade.
Devin needs a new contract too.
Corbin Burns. The Devin Williams has 2 more years, I think, in arbitration.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, they bought
2025
arbitration.
They bought it, but 2025 is a free agent year. He'll be free agent in 2025.
So he's 1 year
long enough. Now, Class A.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Class A got 5 years. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But Devin
All right, let me ask you this: Will you trade Spencer Jones for a World Series?
Oh, of course.
Of course, right?
Of
So
course.
he's on the chopping block.
What's your thought, Austin? What's your thought?
No, I would trade Spencer Jones for a deal of Burns and Williams, or even Bieber and Clase, considering especially Clase, considering he's got 5 years. I think Chris said in his contract. So he'd be a closer for a while. And he's young too. He's like mid-20s. I think he's a young guy. Yeah, he's pretty young, Clase. Definitely. So the bullpen
I think he's 23.
Exactly, 23 already proven. These prospects, you don't know. I mean, we've been burned by so many prospects, and I was thinking about since 2000, there's only been like 3 Yankee prospects that have really panned out since 2000: Judge, Cano, and Betances. Everybody else is maybe Glaber, and that's maybe Glaber. Everyone else, you gotta be honest.
But he comes from the Cubs system, though. You could technically say he came from the Cubs system, which flourished under the Yankee system. So we could say semantics on that one.
So what's considered panned out? Because I do have another name that panned out, but then he got hurt, and because of the Chi-Ming Wong, he actually panned out until they did the NL thing with the pitcher had the bat and stuff, and then he hurt his toe.
But didn't he come from the Korean League already, a major league already? He wasn't like from.
Well, I know he was in their minors.
He was?
If Hill or somebody want to look it up. Yeah, I think he was in their minors.
It's like he's from Korea as well.
I thought he was a Korean professional.
I mean, it could have been, but I knew he was in our minors.
You're talking about the pitcher, right?
Chi-Ming Wong.
Yeah. Chi-Ming Wong.
Yeah, he pitched in the majors over there before he came.
I understand that we there's examples of guys who pan out, but there's so many more that
don't.
Yeah. We know. Andujar, Clint Frazier, Chance Adams. Look at the dude we traded with Seattle, Sheffield. Like
Greg Bird. There's just so many. The list goes on and on and on, man. And
Tyler Austin.
Capillion. I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. When you have a guy who is
Jordan Montgomery panned out.
6'7", 6'7", what they're saying from Jones, and when we saw, not for nothing, from O'Neal Cruz, from Judge, even Stanton, at those height, when they play in the major league, they're special. That's why you really want to hold on to the young man and not trade him here. You gotta hold on to him in a way if you can. But like you said, will we trade him for a World Series? I think 95% of the Yankee fan base will say yes, but nothing is guaranteed because you don't know that. But damn, that talent at 6'7" plus, man, that's a beast of a major league player out there. Unless hopefully he's not comes out of stiff. But damn, but here's another rebuttal. He could also be the Francisco Reyes, who didn't pan out. That dude was 6'5".
Phil Hughes.
Phil Hughes tanned out. He tanned out good for the Yankees. Yeah.
But my whole thing though with that is it's just the thing is that he's our most valuable prospect right now. Besides Dominguez, and Dominguez, I think everybody
and Ben Rice. Don't forget Ben Rice.
Yeah, we're not trading Dominguez.
But that's the name that all the teams, from what I'm hearing, that they're asking for. So if we want to make a trade, then that's something. If not, then we don't, and we just make small little moves here and there, and that's okay too, as long as we're doing something to better the team.
Here, I got a list of prospects that you guys drafted, just in the first round, I think. And I'm about to name all the ones that panned out. So Ian Kennedy panned out.
Yep.
Jabba Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's more known for doing podcasts, but okay, whatever.
He did pan out.
Hey, he got 2 chips. He got 2 chips.
He's talking a lot on podcasts, but go ahead.
I know, but he got 2 chips.
Obviously, there's Aaron Judge. There's Clark Schmidt. Anthony Volpe so far is doing well. Austin Rose is doing good for and then from there on in, we have yet to see Trace. Trace Sweeney got traded. If I remember correctly.
Yep, to the Dodgers.
How many of those? How many are the ones you skipped over that didn't pan out? That's what I'm interested.
Those are guys
scrolling. I seen him scrolling his finger.
Yeah, I see it too.
Aaron Judge.
Those are ones that we haven't. those are ones that we either haven't seen like pan out or I haven't seen come up yet. Like here, I'll name all the ones because I think this is only first round.
Dude.
Well, I want to say this too. While you're doing that, Hill.
Oh, Mark
Like,
Pryor got drafted by you guys.
The only reason why I
when they
wouldn't
traded him
trade,
away for a World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the only reason why I wouldn't trade Spencer Jones is like Kev said with the special, but people got to realize is he was actually a two-way player. That should let you know how special he was.
The Yankees got two-way players on. They drafted one this draft. This
Yeah.
draft that passed. Who was a two-way player who could pitch and hit. They don't know if he's going to be a pitcher or a hitter yet. I remember when they drafted him last year in the MLB draft. They were talking about him there, and they did but they're not ready yet. They're in single A. They had a really good strong draft last offseason that passed in 2020 and 2023 when in the draft for the MLB. They did get some good names. But I don't know. Clubs are not ready to, they're not that much of a scouting report. They want to see one more year in the Yankee development system before they become hot commodities. We saw they got rid of Trey Sweeney, who was another name that oh my God, can't miss prospect up the middle shortstop. He's in Anaheim. So, you can't give away your whole farm either. You got to build something because, especially the $300 million payroll, you're going to have to plug in some of these kids, to alleviate the cost and get back under the luxury tax. Remember, I know it says World Series or bust, Yankee fans. I know we want to go with that, but next year there's going to be a hell of a crop of pitching. Walker Buehler, Burns. There's going to be names out there, guys. You got to be careful. You don't want to blow your whole load here in 2024 when you have a really good, decent team here right now.
Yep.
That's true. That's why I think you should focus on bullpen help then.
I want to. Spencer Jones is actually.
Quick.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
Spencer Jones is actually working with Aaron Judge's hitting coach, so I think he's going to cut down on the strikes.
You know what? Too, I think when we signed Marcus Stroman too, we had to give up a draft pick because he turned on a qualifying offer. So that's gonna, another pick.
Thank you, Ruben.
If we sign Blake Snell, that's 2 picks. 2 top picks, so that's your first round and second round.
Yeah, and he has because he was offered the qualify offer. Yeah, that comes with
Yeah.
So maybe you do go for that. And again, I want to get thanked for Ruben. He's Burns, Wheeler, Fry. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good names out there as well. I know we don't want to hear that, Yankee fans, because we want to win it this year. Because especially capitalize on Juan Soto in your lineup. But damn,
that's why I would make a trade.
I just learned something new.
Yeah.
I just learned something new. Apparently, you guys drafted Garrett Cole in 2008 at a high school, but he didn't sign.
Yeah.
We knew that.
He went to college.
Yeah,
he went to college.
I'm talking about guys who went to the farm system and came up. That's what I meant. Not like guys drafted and then he didn't.
Oh, this is all first round draft picks.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Al Leiter's son. That's in your system. He drafted by the Yankees. He went back to college. Now he's with the Rangers.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think.
He's on mute. He's on mute.
Yeah, he's got to take care of business there for a moment. Marlins taking offers. Yeah, we see that they're taking offers there, but they, we don't know if they're going to move there because look, things are going to get busy now. So this is going to be a lot of action now because it's under 40 days before pitcher and catcher. Well, today we're getting close to almost 30 days for pitchers and catchers.
All right. I have to get off now, sadly.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it was interesting going through all those prospects and all that.
No problem. We appreciate it, Heel. Take care of business.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you for hopping on with us.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
You too, Heel.
You too.
Got a couple more.
Hey, Kev, I got to take off too, man. I got my
man. We're about to end here. We've been good for a good solid hour and 20 minutes. We just wanted to get our thoughts on that there. So your final, before you get out of here, your thoughts here. First, tell us where we can find you. Of course, we know, but I want the audience to hear it. We want to make sure and thank you for collaborating with us and coming on and joining our streams there. We really appreciate it. We love the collaboration here. Not many of them play nice with us, but we collaborate. We like when people do collaborate with us.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter is J_Soul SOLE 23, and I just started my own little podcast thing on YouTube, and the name is right there, New York Baseball Podcast. But if you look up my name, Jason Custodio, CUSTODIO, you should be able to find me. And besides that, that's pretty much everywhere you can find me.
No worry, we're making sure that we continue to back you up 100% and get you going
Appreciate
there.
it.
And of course, absolutely, make sure we all subscribe to New York Baseball Podcast. I love your introduction, by the way. Love the opening video. Yeah, you got that. We got great minds think alike. I love that.
All right, appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on. And Chris the Flash, I appreciate you, man. I always watch your stuff too. Austin, this is my
Thank
first
you. I
time
appreciate
meeting
it.
you.
That's my. By the way, that's my son, Jason.
Oh, that's your son? Oh,
That's my
man. He gets his looks from his mother then.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I've been here all my life. Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Kevin, I appreciate, man. Thank you
Hey,
so
man,
much.
you know that. Open door always, man. You know that. You don't even need
Likewise,
that.
likewise.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it, Jason.
All right, I'll see you guys later, man.
All right,
All right,
you got
Jason.
it.
Bye.
All right. So we're just us here. We're gonna couple few more minutes here before we end it. This was pretty fun. It was fun. Of course, we're gonna make sure we take care and hit that like and subscribe for Jason's channel as well as Chris the Flash. We appreciate that, and we thank you for you guys giving us this afternoon with us here. There's gonna be a lot of baseball moves coming up. Everyone now, these free agents, gonna find homes. There are going to be some moves. Teams got to know their budget now that arbitration is out. And now teams going to make decisions on what their payroll is, if they want to cut payroll, what players become expendable, not expendable. This is where Cashman, I say, does good work. Finding, of course, bargain basement moves or these depth moves where you think, the Tachmans, the Wandy Peralta. I trust Cashman doing those little type of small moves. I don't know about you, Austin. You think Cashman could do these kind of moves this year, or you think the luck ran out on him?
I think he can do it. I think he still at least find one hidden gem, one of those moves you mentioned, at least. Especially like you mentioned next year's pitching free agency. I didn't realize how deep it was. You mentioned Beulah and I think Zach Wheeler too, which yeah. So definitely, like I said, I'm now supportive of getting like a bargain, like those bargain deals, those hidden gems, especially from bullpen wise. Well, yeah, because the bullpen's the Yankees they work on. That's why I think you just focus on the bullpen and just see where it go, see what happens next year, and then go from there. I think he'll find somebody that turns out to be because bullpen's always been his specialty, especially recently. Find these guys who do well in the bullpen. It's just that the only problem is how they use, which is sometimes, but that's more of like Aaron Boone. Seems like.
I agree with you there. Let me ask Ruben. Ruben, I have a question. And I know you follow a lot of the farm system with the Yankees. Is the Yankees got a young arm that they can bring up with high velocity or strikeout and try to use them out of the bullpen? A la the way the Rays brought up and bring up Price and other pitchers in the past come in there short term. We know a long term future is a starter, but they could bring him in the bullpen and set up like a closer or has success the way they use Michael King. Is there anyone down there that could fit that role there for the Yankees in that farm system? I really don't have enough time to follow that Yankee farm system pitching wise. Do you, Chris? Do you? Is there a name?
We actually, you probably know who he is. He pitched for us and he pitched pretty good until they kept bringing him up and down. That's Luis Hill.
Ooh, I forgot about him. He's been throwing off the mark and posting videos. You're right, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So I wouldn't be surprised. I'll give him a chance, or like Beater. I'll give Beater or he said it too, Luis Hill.
Okay.
Why not? I mean, look, I like Clay Holmes. I don't see Clay Holmes as a closer. I see him as a actually I can see him as an 8-inning guy, which that'd be perfect for him. So I don't know. Austin said, like Cashman's good at bullpen stuff. It just depends on how Boone uses everybody. If he could finally get his head on straight and use people and take people out the way he needs to take them out or keep them in, I'm telling you, this would be a whole different talking point.
I have, for some reason, again, I have a better sense with Osmus as his bench coach to listen and collaborate, because it's all about Yankees. All they speak about is collaboration, from the front office to the analytic department, scouting department, and the coaching staff. So if you have a Brad Osmus who sees something, who is a catcher by trade, and sees when it maybe knows the signs of fatigue, or maybe he just talks to the catching, and catcher to catcher with either Trevino or Wells, whoever else on the and says, look, if you see a pitcher doesn't have it, just let me know, give me a look or something. And he could tell, boom, I don't think this guy has it tonight, whatever the case is. I feel a little more, for some reason this year, and I don't like Aaron Boone as a manager, but that Osmus move just kind of got me tranquilo, calm, despacito. I want to see him, manage now. And I think Clay Holmes is going to start as the closer. I'm okay if he starts, but if any of these young players, young kids, start pitching well, where he could leapfrog and get better as a closer, because they never done it before. You don't want, with all that expectation, you don't want them to feel the weight and start overthrowing. That's what the arm injuries come out too for these young players. That's why I don't want to anoint these young guys immediately as a closer. I would like them like a la Mariano Rivera in '96, 7th inning, just be a dominant specialist. They didn't rush him to close, although he was better than Wetland, but they still let Wetland do his job. I think Clay Holmes will stay there, and I think I would like one of these young guys to emerge as that in the season. I'm hoping that happens. We get another Michael King. I could see Gomez maybe. I don't know. I just threw that name out there, just throwing the name in the dark. I know there's a lot of high expectation on Beater. I've heard his name being mentioned a lot. So we'll see how they go. All these guys are pretty proven AAA and basically MLB ready. That's great because maybe they could save money. Maybe they don't need to make these moves with these other pitchers, overpricing, keep it at 300 and use these young players and have it ready. That's talking about using your farm system to your advantage. And having your cake and eat it too. Let's say they pan out, then they have a plethora of riches, and they got their own. They got their own kind of mini Atlanta Braves system, bringing players up and winning. I mean, that'd be in a perfect world scenario. We'll make it.
Hey, Ruben.
Yeah, guy.
Ruben, is Davy Garcia still in the system?
Yeah, what happened to him? I don't. He started a playoff game against the Rays, and then he just disappeared from the face.
He went to witness protection plan after that one.
Me and Kev think he could be a good bullpen piece, and,
and
I agree.
I think so too.
That's right. He was part of that Kendon Middleton trade, right? He went with that Middleton trade, didn't he?
Oh no,
really?
Man, he was so young too. He was young.
They found him a home. That's right. He went on that Middleton trade.
Thanks, Ruben.
Oh, and I liked it. I liked him too. I really liked it.
They messed him up.
They messed him over. He had that flair, that pizzazz of himself, like conductor. I don't know.
Who he could have been? Personally? He could have been, if they didn't mess him over with the whole thing. He could have been a Marcus Stroman, same size, same pitching repertoire. Like he could have been Marcus Stroman, and they messed him up by we're gonna pitch you for an inning, and then we're gonna take you out. And you should have never did that.
For Hap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Ian crap.
Yeah, I mean,
he sure did crap his pants.
That was bad. Yeah. I do like Luis Hill as a bullpen guy because at least last year, I think he should definitely get opportunity in the bullpen because he's already pitched a decent amount of innings last year, and I think he's a starter too. I think he's definitely starting to help the Yankees bullpen. I like Luis Hill a lot personally.
Luis Hill could give you innings, maybe 2 innings, if you need it. I like Luis Hill too. Weaver is low key good. $2 million. Yeah, that was a good deal. Weaver was a good deal, but man, when I hear that Weaver, I think of Jeff Weaver on pitching against the Marlins. That last name just gives me that little. But that's different player. I know that. I'm just being that. Just the last name just gives me those. My hairs on the back of my neck stands up when I hear that. But hopefully, this guy could be something different, a difference maker. Different grip. Oh, he's gonna give a different fastball grip. Interesting there, because they did get an assistant bench coach there for the Yankees coming in. They named their staff. I wonder if they have a different philosophy of pitching. I still got Matt Blake. You know me, I don't like too much the slider. I wish they would go back to the forkball or the splitter along, but it is what it is. I thought if Yamamoto were coming with that splitter, I was getting a little excited for that one because he's going to bring that's a pitch to me in my heart. When they won Dynasty, that was one of their Mel Stoudemire's cone through it. Clemens developed it. Pettit had it and I liked that splitter. It helped out. But of course, since Sanchez couldn't block it, they went away. They went to the slider, yada yada. We spoke about it there. Not many American coaches teaches the splitter. Yeah, and I like the splitter. Mel Stoudemire was phenomenal there. You see that there, and that was a way of changing that. The splitter's rare. The splitter was rare. I remember in the early 80s, it was called the forkball. That was David Wells, Dave Stewart, who liked throwing that forkball. And then it became more of a splitter, of course, with Ryan and, of course, Stoudemire with the Mets and so forth. And I just thought, to me, when you have a fastball, high velocity, that splitter, when it just falls down, it's just totally wicked, man, because you can always hang a damn slider, especially in the cold weather, because you don't have your fingers are numb. With a splitter, the way to grip, it's just gonna die. Either you bounce it in the ground, or you're just gonna get that swing and a miss. Where it's gonna, but the slider with the, That's
what Tanaka threw.
Tanaka
threw the splitter.
Tanaka threw the splitter. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the last Yankee pitcher, if you ask me.
Yeah,
who threw that?
Great.
Would you hire a coach who specialized in the splitter? I would, Ruben.
I would.
I believe in that pitching. I don't know why. Maybe the analytics say that there's a lot of torque on the elbow, or it's not good for long term. But damn, the Yankees won a lot of freaking World Series, a lot of games with that pitch being featured there, along with they were. Man.
I do wonder, why would coaches not know how to teach it if Stoudemire knew how to do it? That's a weird thing.
It's probably the torque. It's probably the repercussion of the torque on the elbow, on the arm. Or on the elbow. It has to be a reason why. I'm not saying it's facts. I'm just guessing. This is my opinion. And the hand size of the pitcher, that too.
Yeah,
that too.
That's a fair point. Yeah,
that also. Yeah, that's also another one.
I agree. If you could hire a pitching coach that specializes in throwing splitters, I mean, why not? I mean, especially like it seemed like more of the like Japanese Asian market. They that's what one of their pitches they throw mostly is a splitter. So, I mean, I would look into that.
But do remember that the ball in Japan is much more smaller than the American baseball.
Well, that's why you would teach them. Like, I would teach them at a young age. Like, say Roki. I would teach Roki at a young age, since you're only, 21, 22. Throw this first, and then, because it's like, I don't know if, yeah, probably worked out. It's like a medicine ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you throw a medicine ball, and then say you throw a football. The medicine ball is a lot heavier, so It's gonna make you, that's just, I don't know. That's what I would do. I would try to teach them at a young age to throw a Major League Baseball, so they can get used to it.
That's the issue, though, because in the way they bring up the minor league system, or at least when I used to manage and teach little league all the way to like 16-year-olds. They were told not to throw that. We were told and instructed by the leagues ourselves. This is summer league baseball.
Yeah.
Not to teach them how to throw the curveball or anything because of development of the hands. Mostly fastball. No, try not to throw no curves because of the torque for the age. They're still developing their arm. You want to develop arm strength. I don't think you want to. It would be wise to start teaching them there. That has to be probably in Class A or rookie ball league if you're going to introduce that kind of pitch there. Then again, you have so much investment on these young players, and when you draft them, can you really afford to set them back a year if they have to get Tommy John? That's the slippery slope that you open up there with that forkball. But they did it before. I mean, what changes now?
What changes is, Kev, too. Probably because they don't, like you said, they don't start them early. It's better to start them early so they all can get used to throwing that pitch. If you all of a sudden, I'm gonna wait to go to college and throw a pitch, but then you got somebody doing it since probably, I'm not gonna say middle school, say freshman year in high school. I feel like their arm is gonna get used to throwing that pitch. But if you just fast tracking and trying to do it at college, or say you're in the minors and you're trying to throw it, you might be at risk at getting Tommy John surgery and stuff like that because your arm is not used to throwing it that type of angle. That's why I would like to start them early so their body can get used to it. Just like the pitch, the innings pitch. If you're not used to throwing a lot of pitches, you need to work your way up. If you throw a lot of pitches like Nestor did, look what happens. Arm fatigue. He's not used to it. So you gotta let that body get used to it first. You can't just say, oh yeah, throw 180 pitches, and you think the next year he's gonna be fine. No, he's probably either gonna get Tommy John surgery or he's gonna have arm fatigue.
And a lot of thing was, of course, anyway, pitching our arms, a human body is not known isn't meant to be throwing the ball like that anyway.
No.
The torque and the velocity that we put on our shoulders and our rotator cuff, we're not meant for that anyways. So that's a crazy how they used to not. Here, maybe we're overtraining, because we used to hear a story back in the old day. Guys would not just they'll just not pick up do anything until spring training. Then they'll pick up a baseball. Now these guys are all season program. Austin, I mean, what's your thoughts on that one?
Fair point. I think maybe the guys are overtrained because, like you mentioned, they wouldn't pick up the baseball till spring training, but now they keep throwing, just wear and tear, and then eventually it's gonna pop or something's gonna tear. They need surgery. Also, guys are just throwing the ball harder. You notice a lot of guys are throwing 100 miles. Where back then, like I remember when Chapman started throwing, that was like super rare. That was what made Chapman stand out back when he was in Cincinnati, was the fact that he would throw consistently 100 miles. But now you're starting to see more guys do it. More guys are reaching high 90s. Where back then, if you went mid 90s consistently, that was like special. Like in the 90s, for example. Now it's like everyone's throwing like high 90s, 100 miles consistently. Guys throwing harder. That's probably the reason why guys are probably getting hurt more. Maybe you don't see the splinter. Now I'm thinking about it. Now I think maybe that's it. Overtrained, like you mentioned. Maybe guys just throwing the ball harder too.
Yeah, could look at one of the greatest pitchers in the '90s, Greg Maddux, 93 miles an hour, I believe, was his top velocity, but it was location, in and out. Moving it inside, outside, the location. Glavine you could say was a soft tosser, and as later down, but he got a lot of strikeouts because the location. It's about location, your accuracy in the location. But damn, these hitters are so much quicker with bat speed. I think that's where it deterred the pitchers now to want to throw even faster and harder, because of the bat speed and the control that some of these athletes have now. I mean, oof. Pitchers got to throw 90% through the game and ramp it up 100% when needed. And used to be that way less injuries. We heard that from David Cone. That was a big thing on David Cone. We'll say D-Rod. He would say, you will get stronger you always heard that you will get stronger as the game progressive. You didn't come out there blazing and throwing. That's why I believe maybe that's why some of the pitchers don't go no more than just 5-6 innings. They're fatigued. They're wasted. Maybe that's another reason why they're as well. And guys, before, if you were relegated to the bullpen, you was a failed starter. You will pitch 3-4 innings, and that's a different era of baseball. But it's still 3 balls. It was 4 balls and 3 strikes. It's still the same game.
That's true.
I mean, most people forget.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was about to say, people forget Mo was a starter.
Yes.
So, like, I don't look at it as a failure. I mean, look at Mo. I bet you Mo wouldn't trade with his career for, say if he threw one perfect game and that was it. I guarantee he loved his career. I mean, he's the best closer of all time.
Yeah. And he only did it on one pitch, the cutter. I mean, he had a hell of a fastball, and then he developed the cutter.
You knew what he was doing. You still couldn't hit it.
Right. Because the way he did, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely on that. And it's fun with the pitching here. These modern baseball, the new quality starts now 6+ innings. You're not going to get the Jack Morris going in the World Series. 10 innings or 11 innings in a World Series. Jack Morris was a bulldog, and he wasn't. He didn't know to have the great stuff. He didn't have a body of an Adonis. Look at you put Jack Morris in his peak next to a Noah Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard looked like Thor out of a movie, Chisel, a Norse god, compared to Jack Morris, or David Wells. They look like they just came out of your local tavern, having a couple wings and beers, but they pitched their asses off, and you didn't hear them getting injured. Give me the ball, I'll go 10 innings.
Yeah, exactly. And I see Ruben mentioning about pitchers not doing cardio, and apparently Smoltz pointed out. I never thought about that, but now I think about that, might be a fair point. Pitchers gotten lazy with cardio. They're so focused on arm strength and maybe mechanics, other things. They don't focus on that, even though that cardio has always been important for all sports because fatigue is carry for everyone. I never thought that's a good point. I never thought about that till now, Ruben.
Yeah,
You got to talk about what the way Clemens worked out before he was a Yankee, before all the other steroids. I remember what he used to do, his workout regimen, a lot of cardio. He would stick his hand in a big barrel of rice, just grab and grab, and that was strengthening it. Nolan Ryan, yes, he had blister issues, but Nolan Ryan's conditioning. This guy pitched almost at 47 years old, man. I mean, there's some longevity there. Frank Tanaka. I mean, he got guys out with junk later on in his career, but he was still a pitcher who pitched for longevity. The secret, they need to, you always can learn from your history, find out what worked there, and tweak it with the modern. It's great about modern studies now with modern medicine and science. You could always go to the back to the past, use a little bit of the past, and fix, make it better. I don't know. It's just us talking about it. I'm shooting the breeze, but we'd love for these guys to have longevity, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going to see the 8-inning pitcher. Rarely, because 100 pitches is the magical number. Oh, forget it. They're no good no more. I think sometimes it all depends on the makeup of the game. If it's 100 pitches and he's getting better, stronger, and he's dominating, is the bottom really going to fall out? I asked that question.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, he's getting stronger and better. I mean, yeah, exactly. Look with your eyes, not what the analytics say. Look with your eyes. He's still willing dealing, and things like that. You gotta keep him in the game, obviously. Try to see. I mean, not everyone's after 100 innings is magic gonna collapse. I think too many guys write analytics and don't look at the user eyes. And that's one of the reasons why some baseball fans have issues with analytics, is that they rely too much on them. I think that's one of the worst examples is the 100 innings. I mean, not 100 innings. Excuse me, 100 pitch stuff. We take them out, or after 6 innings, instead of watching what guys tell you. I mean, the worst example was we mentioned Blake Snell in the World Series, where he was pitching well, but then his manager took him out when he was still pitching well, and they ended up losing the game and the World Series. I mean, that's like the worst example of it all. It's that one.
Yeah, like what I was saying with the cardio too, like. When I played in high school, that's the first thing they told us. Like, don't hit the weights, go run.
Yes.
And I feel like most of baseball, you have to use legs. Pitching the same way. I understand you want to throw fast, but you still need your legs.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's certain pitchers that know how to use, their mind, their body. And that's what makes Cole so special. Because Cole, yeah, he could throw 100, but he knows when to throw the 100.
And that's why I think Chris Sale has a little bit of issue. So his legs are so thin. He has a hell of an arm, but you could see the issues with him. He's got to work on his legs. You could work this almost. Hey, some guys genetically can't get those leg muscles, but damn it, oh my god!
That's you have a point.
Wait a minute, I just got breaking news. Hold on, I got breaking news. Hold on a second. Giancarlo Stanton just pulled a hamstring, wiping his ass on the toilet.
Dude, this man's Stanton really got chicken legs, bruh.
I'm surprised. Like, damn. I get it. Everyone can have big legs, but like, it's all the leg injuries. Like, does he? Makes you wonder like, how much is he working on it? It's like, I mean, he's losing weight, so maybe that helps, hopefully. But man, it's the same issues. Like, he's got to do something different. Maybe the losing weight is that difference, but yeah, I mean, damn. Shit.
That's why, Austin. That's why when
Chris, you broke up, Chris.
Chris,
you're muted. We can't hear you. Chris, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Chris. We'll get Chris's technical difficulties working right now. We can't hear him because he got a good point. We can't hear you.
That's another thing. One reason why I'm not a fan of Blake Snell is that he's controlled. Sometimes he walks guys way too much, and you're playing risky game. You walk guys. I mean, all of a sudden a hit can turn to 2 runs instead of just giving him a hit when you do that. That's one reason why I'm not a big fan of Blake Snell. Walks way too many guys. I'm glad. Good. That's a good point, Ruben. And also the Roy Halladay point you mentioned, how he used to get his legs tired and like pitching, a lot of its legs. I think Tom Seaver can talk about that, how he has strong legs and he used to always go low. His pitches.
Say something, Chris, real quick. Chris? All right, you're
Yeah,
back.
I can
You're
hear y'all
back
now.
on.
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear none of y'all.
No, you're back on. We couldn't hear you
Yeah, I
either.
don't know what the hell
We
happened.
couldn't hear you at all. We were.
I was saying though, like Judge, he never gets. I've never seen like leg injuries besides that toe
Right.
issue. But Judge's body is meant for him. For some reason, it seemed like Stanton keep hitting the weights, and I feel like he's skipping leg day.
Also,
I
his
think
inning
so
is being
too.
limited
Yeah.
in Tampa because Cashman did not let Snell go deep. Cash. Snell was done with Cash after that World Series. That's another issue. And maybe that's a negative, a con, not to bring Snell to New York, especially Boone. The Yankees, that they have a good bullpen, a super bullpen, and he wants to leave Snell on a good note, and it's only 5 2/3 innings, and they want to pull him, and we're up by a couple runs, we're going to trust the bullpen, and if Snell wants to pitch one more inning, if he has an innings clause to kick in or whatever the case is in contract, and that might cause a rip, and he's been vocal or demonstrative on the mount when he doesn't want to come out. If we already have one with Stroman, possibly, which we talked about earlier, and then you bring Snell, it could be a little bit of a slippery slope there. That I could see where a lot of folks won't want to get Snell in here for that reason. Snell could go long for a game. Yeah, so guys, I think we could wrap it up here. We'll go back because we're gonna be more news there. Ruben, one of these days, I would love for you. You're more than welcome. Door open for you to join us, Ruben, on the program. You don't even have to ask. Just let me know. Hey, we're gonna come live. You're more than welcome, Ruben, on. We would love to have you on. I know you're at work. We appreciate though all that good insight there, of course. One of these days, we'll probably see you there with Latino Sports there, because I know the guy in charge of Latino Sports through Mike Acevedo and all that stuff. So one of these days, we'll probably meet up one of these days there, Mr. Ruben. I don't know if you heard. Hicks, yes, $11 million for 4 years.
Hold up, he said a starter.
Starter, really?
Hold up.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's what it sounded like D-Rod just said, as a starter.
As a starter. I did not know that.
They tried it one time with St. Louis, but then I think he had like arm fatigue or something, and then they put him back in the bullpen.
Ooh, maybe that's something that he wanted to do, and that's why he signed there. If they're giving him $11 million.
Now it makes sense.
Now, yeah. Yes, right, absolutely, Ruben. Absolutely. Chris, tell us where we could find you. I know where we could, but we want to hear the audience let you know where we could find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter, Chris Rodrigue 91. You can find me on YouTube, Chris the Flash. I'm trying to think. Instagram, you can find me at Chris Rodrigue, and Facebook, Chris Rodrigue.
All right, that's Chris the Flash. Make sure we support the channel, and of course, follow the video. His information is in the video description on the Sports Jedi Network. If you read the description of the video, it is there, so you could copy it. And I have the link right to his channel. Please go and subscribe, support. Of course, we do here. We try to get everyone over, not just a one-way street, which is a two-way street where we give the love, and we want as well as we want to receive it. So we want to make sure we support Mr. Chris the Flash. Of course, my son. Pleasure to have my son Austin from MMA Weekly. Austin, absolutely. Tell us real quick of the UFC 299 and 300 coming up.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm doing video. I am gonna record video about that because 299 is the real 300. UFC 300, Dana White deserves to be criticized up oblivion for that big announcement, and those fights were announced. 299 is, first of all, I wish I can go Miami for that card because that card's stacked, and I'm like I said. It's the real 300 to me. And I'll talk more about it in my video. But yeah, it's 300. I'm still excited because it's 300. Considering this is a sport that 20 years ago was having a hard time getting on TV. Now they're doing a 300 pay-per-view. It's pretty incredible, the UFC. But yeah, but still, it could be better. And I think so. I'll make a video about that.
All right, make sure we check that out here on the Sports Jedi Network. That's my son, along with Chef Dan. But right now, Austin is taking that MMA and grabbing it by the horns there. I have a quick question. Is Brock coming for 300?
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
Ain't he going to WrestleMania?
They're talking about, but he could do both. They're talking about him being at
I would not do.
300.
I would not do both. That's a mistake, considering like, especially if he's wrestling what Gunther. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I hear. And then
You
you're
don't
then you
know.
MMA fight like the next week. Nah, that seems I would not
don't
even
know.
try that.
All
I guess
right,
they would have to tune in to the Halo podcast, huh? Halo Ring
Heal the
podcast.
Ring
to find out,
podcast
huh?
and MMA Weekly with Austin. Yeah, and of course, definitely. And of course, tonight we'll have SmackDown watch along. If you like wrestling, we're gonna have the wrestling watch along tonight. Crystal Flash will be there as well. We do all WWE watch alongs. We do also talk about all the different upcoming wrestling cards, and then we have Nick basketball Saturday night against the Memphis Grizzlies, and any other Knicks or any Yankee news that pop up. We'll do an emergency podcast. And of course, I don't do too much. I don't do too much of the Yankee off season too much. I don't want to give too much hypotheticals. I want to talk about all that. Yo, D-Rod, it was a pleasure in that chat. Thank you for supporting Chris's chat. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Awesome. Aiden, good to see you, Aiden. Good to see you, Aiden. Well, I hope we see you around the channel here. And of course, Joey P1, of course, Ruben from NY News. Please check them out. Absolutely. Of course, we had Jacob Man. We had Mikey Mazda, Fortrain Espresso, Semelo, Lamario. We thank everyone that joined us, that listened to us. Heal for coming on. Jason, again, check his channel out, please. I'll make sure I'll re-update the description of the video so you can follow him as well. And of course, follow us on all our social platforms. Guys, enjoy your weekend, your Friday. May the sports be with you. I am BX Sports Jedi saying, see you later. Peace out.